What's going on, guys?
Swap and chat.
It's Tex Mexican. We're doing another episode, but today Logan's not here, and he won't always be here. But we have a lot of people that we like to get perspectives and just hear the story out. So I have Paddy from Texas.
Yes, sir.
So what's the introduction?
I'm Patrick. I'm from Texas. I got a big family. I'm the same job as him. Radio troop. I'm 25 years old. You want to look at you or look at the camera?
No, you're good. You can look at the camera. Just keep talking.
No, yeah, I'm a big family guy. Really close with my siblings. I joined in 2023 or 24. Been in about a year and a half.
So when did you join? What did you join?
What?
What did you join? What are you talking about?
The Air Force.
Yeah, people watching don't know that.
I joined the Air Force in 2024. Yeah, it's been pretty good so far. I'm pretty grateful for him. My first assignment was going to be Turkey, but I got reassigned here, and now I have some good friends like Martinez. Yeah, I like working out. I like playing games, going out with friends. But yeah, that's me.
So one of the core questions I like to ask too is, besides what you like doing on a normal basis, like, who is Patrick? What do you stand for? If you had to say, if you had to describe yourself in like a short story, like, who would Patrick be? What do you care about the most?
Oh.
And what do you want to do?
Right. Okay. So I care mostly about God and my family. So I hold those kind of values. I'm big in integrity. So I like to do things right. I'm a hard worker. Yeah, that's
so
me.
it seems
God and family.
Above everything, the number one thing of importance in your life is your religion, right?
Right.
So would you say that, in a way, has, or if not in a way, completely influenced almost every decision you made to this
100%. Especially it influenced for me to be where I'm at right now. Like,
was
I wouldn't
that,
be here.
Was it always like that, or was there a shift?
There was definitely a shift.
So, if if you're able to describe it, what do you think was the shift? Because the last episode we did, we talked it's a short kind of episode talking about how much of your life is your fault. So it's about big about self accountability. When do people wake up? So, if you're able to explain it, what was when you figured out it's not that I need to grow up, but I'm making decisions that are going to put me in a place that I don't want to be, and then you fell much farther into your faith.
Yeah, I can definitely share that. So out of high school, I didn't go to college first, and I worked with a friend, and that didn't work out too well. So I went to college, and it was during like the height of COVID, so it wasn't really fun. I got into a lot of drugs. I became depressed. I started slacking like a lot, so I dropped out of college, and then I went back home to live with my mom, and then I was like in and out of jobs, like warehouse jobs, working with my uncle, and I went deeper into drugs like weed and alcohol. So
Okay. Yeah. For a second, I was gonna say I don't think you should say that online, but for anyone questioning, the military does know.
Yeah, the military.
Okay, then we're not gonna worry about that. We're not gonna dive that much deeper into that.
Well, I wasn't doing too well for myself, so
Right, but I mean, like, if anyone having a few joints is not the best thing to do for a lot of people.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it was creating unhealthy habits that you wanted to change.
Right.
And then you flipped the switch and made it better.
Yes, people all around me were, kind of doing. My siblings were doing the same thing, so I wanted to get out. So
right, because you wanted to like avoid making it worse before it actually became a problem.
Right.
Because it wasn't a problem yet, but you said, I don't want it to get to that point.
Exactly.
Which a lot of people, I'm sure, would watch the stream and be like, they're seeing themselves falling deeper into a hole where they say, I want to stop this before it gets worse.
Yes.
And where did God come into that?
Well, I was really at a low point, and I was fighting with my siblings and my family, and I went to jail one night, fighting with my siblings.
So a lot of like internal turmoil.
Yeah,
and then lowest point, you said,
yeah, it was when I went to jail. I spent the night in jail, and that's when it switched.
Did you almost have a what's the best way you could explain something? Like, do you have like an experience with it, or was it you felt like loose from the chains and ready to change, or did you have a out of body kind of experience
Both,
with it?
definitely both. Where I felt kind of out of body. I felt something spiritual coming, around me, and I felt it. I felt relieved. I felt like, you know, things can change. So, after that night in jail, I really stopped everything, and I tried to focus on like what should I do now, and I've never really thought about joining the military, but I thought about it. I talked to a recruiter, and not even a week later, I was shipped off to BMT, and it's like God wanted me to go. Like, I'm not even joking. It was a fast track right to BMT.
That is an interesting story because a lot of people don't get
Yeah.
sent out that fast.
Yeah.
So now here you are. You were because I'm not gonna say you were doing drugs. That when people hear that, they think of meth and some crazy stuff.
Yeah. No.
But
I've never done any hard drugs like that.
right.
Yeah,
So
just,
you went to the recruiter, say, hey man, I want to get out of here. I'm tired of
right.
watching other people drink and smoke.
And it
I want
wasn't just
something
watching other people. I was also just being very lazy, too, with
Right,
it,
right.
and just not moving forward with my life.
Okay, so you were tired of the environment. You wanted to stop it before it got worse, and you wanted Patrick to be someone different, or to I wouldn't say someone different. You want to level up yourself.
Yeah.
Especially with this newfound faith you had.
Right. And I've always had faith. It's just
It was strengthened.
It was because I felt like I had a spiritual awakening, in a sense.
Would this be a good way to describe it? Would you say you believed in God and then you found God?
Sure. Yeah, you could say it. 100%.
It's for the first time you felt it.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's a really interesting thing to think about. So here you are now. You took those steps. You're doing great now. What's your plans for now? What does Patrick want to do?
That is a good question. Sometimes I don't even know most of the time, but I am trying to find out what I want to do. So I want to go back to college for sure to finish my degree. I'm almost close to a bachelor's degree, and my brother is trying to introduce me to a job. So I'm kind of like going like a side gig right now. It's like I'm trying to get my license to sell life insurance. It's like a brokerage type deal where you make commission off of a life insurance policy a family buys, and then the company pays you. So I'm just trying to get my money up because I make such bad financial decisions. I'm trying to lock in this year. I need to work on my spending because it's pretty bad.
Well, I feel like that's a lot of America though.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think sometimes we can describe ourselves as being a lot worse, but in reality, we don't see the rest of America. So maybe you saying it's bad for yourself, you might be your worst case scenario might be someone's best case scenario.
Right.
So it's good that, obviously, it's always good to be very self-aware of where you could be doing better.
Right.
And that's always a great thing to have. It's a great quality to have is, self-awareness. So besides those small goals, what do you want to be at? Because you know how they say you have your 5-year goal, 10-year goal, 20-year goal.
I see. So yeah, my 5-year goal, 10-year goal, I want a family. I want a family. I want to start a family. I'm going to be successful for my family. Whether that's staying in and having a stable job, job security here in the military, or getting a business degree, which I want to, and furthering my education. But I would like to get a family. That's my ultimate goal, really.
Okay, so the end of the field, good job in the family.
Yes.
And that would sum it up what you
right. It doesn't take too much to make me happy. Like I don't care about money too much, but children. I would love to have children for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was thinking about the way you're gonna word it for a second. Like I love kids. Don't check my history.
I come from a big family. My grandma had 11 children, so 80 cousins or 100 plus cousins. I have a big family.
With all those brothers, sisters, and cousins, Do you think you've noticed a difference with the way you and your family interact, not just with each other but with other people, compared to a lot of friends you've had or people you know that were like only children?
Oh yeah, all the time.
How would you describe
All
it?
my life, we've been told, all my family, that we are different, that we hold each other, ourselves in a way that is different, that is respectful, that is, intelligent, that is, we have values, we're religious people, we're good people. We've gotten that all our lives.
And but when you would put it to someone else, would you tell them, "I'm just doing the bare minimum I was taught, just being a decent person"? So the way I'm gonna word this, because people are seeming to look at you and your family like they're completely different.
Right.
But when it comes from your perspective, looking at your family, just talking to each other,
Right.
you guys are saying, no, this is the least we could do.
Yeah, it's normal for us. We us being good people and
Right.
considerate and passionate about our faith.
I think
feel
that's
that's normal, but it's
Right.
not. It's not in this world.
That's the thing I'm trying to point out, that your standards of morals and values is a lot different than the average person you would meet in Texas, or just in general all over the
Right.
United States.
Right.
Because you've been around.
Right.
You've been to a couple states.
Mhm.
Out of all the states you've been to, which one do you think you would want to go back to?
Definitely Texas, or a more like-minded area to where I'm at.
So that you like Florida, Texas.
Florida, Texas, yes, 100%.
And I want to take a step back toward your environment. Growing. What was the city you grew up in Texas called?
I grew up all over Texas, so we moved a lot.
Was it farmland, rural?
Yeah,
mostly?
most of the time it was. Sometimes we lived in like the middle of this city, small towns like Farmersville. But I graduated from a small town called Emory Rains, and it was not big at all. It was
Right.
population maybe 10,000 at the time. Small high school, big 3A.
Because we have something in common that you probably already remember. So we remember I told you before I went from California, I was in Texas for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I lived in Hereford. And Hereford's way up north, middle of all the cattle.
Yeah.
So going from that to the city of Los Angeles, and then from you probably visiting cities in Texas, but like living, in more of the industrialized areas that you've lived in so far. What are the things that you notice you've seen that this is different? This is not what I would see typically in a rural community.
Mm.
And we'll stick it to people and daily life.
Well, I've always kind of lived in a bunch of small towns, so I'm kind of used to most of the people I grew up around. They're, Southern people. They're kind people, but
Would you say a lot more familiar faces than when you went to the cities? Like you knew a larger percentage of the people you interacted with?
yeah. So say like I'm traveling to Dallas or so. Yeah, it's a lot different. My grandma, she had a nice house and stuff, but she did kind of live in the hood of Texas. So every time we did go over there, it was kind of different.
And this was in Dallas.
This was in Dallas, yes.
So that's something that, I would agree with too, because my best example being in California. So obviously I grew up most of my life in Los Angeles on the southern tip. And when we would go visit family, we had some family in Riverside. There's a place called Paris. And we would go a little more up north. A lot of farming going on there. There's a huge difference in how you just interact with somebody. So one big thing that I want to question you is when you say, "Hey, how you doing?" to somebody,
Right.
It is vastly different from city to rural. Because obviously, not everyone is the same. Everyone's different individuals, but in a overall summarized way of explaining it, you're more likely to carry a longer conversation with someone in a rural community.
Right.
Because people in the cities don't have time for you.
Yeah.
Do you notice anything like that when you're moving around?
Oh yeah, 100%. It's a lot of like negative attitudes when you're in a heavily populated type area, and even in Texas now, even now, it's like there's a lot more evil in the world and hatred for a lot of things. So people, it reflects on their attitude and
Right.
their character.
And then, to caveat on that, going back to your character, do you think since enlisting, has it changed?
Meeting people who, well, a little bit,
Or
but
if not your character, let me put it
there's
this way, your perspective.
perspective. Yeah, because times change, and yeah, we're kind of secluded in the military. There's a military mentality, so we're all kind of like-minded in a way. I don't really see a lot of you know negative people all the time because we're just doing our job and stuff. But on the outside, on social media, on Facebook, this and that, I definitely see a big change, and that's what evil and hatred I was talking about earlier.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, especially like times like now, it feels like everyone's kind of getting sucked into their own little world of their phone,
Yeah.
where they kind of only listen to people that agree with each other,
Yeah.
and if not that, some people it feels like they look for what angers them.
Right.
Is there ways that you kind of distinguish yourself from that?
All the time.
And is there also times where you feel like it sucks you in?
No, because I don't feel like I'm a product of my environment. Sometimes, like I don't feel like I can be swayed by. I tell it how it is. How I feel, what I know, my opinion. If I usually follow a logical type of, thinking mentality. So, I kind of stand my ground on things that I believe in, and that's going on in the world. So I don't really get pulled in as much. But I do. I'm a watcher. Like I just see what's going on, and I keep it in the back of my mind, and that's just me.
So, like, would you kind of consider yourself a learn from others, people's mistakes kind of guy sometimes? Yeah. So, I know I mentioned you said that you're not a product of your environment. Would you say that, are you talking about the surrounding, like outside of the home, and you would say you're more influenced by your family teachings?
When I say I'm not a product of my environment, I'm not. I don't hold the mentality other people have. Like in our shop, the oh, I hate this job, I want to get out. I just pray to God. I'm thankful for where I'm at. I work hard when I need to work hard when I'm asked to do work. That's basically what I mean. And yes, the product or the environment doesn't really affect me. Like some people hate this place, I just take what's good out of it and just hold on to that. That's what I do.
That's a pretty good way to think about it. I mean, I think that's something that I should probably take a page from, because sometimes what I notice where I can make the mistake of is, instead of looking at the positive things, in the back of my head kind of tells me, no one cares. Shut up. Like nobody cares about what you're going through. So
Right.
Are you gonna make it better or not? But I think the way you put it is actually a lot more definitely productive. If not productive, but beneficial for like just you yourself.
It's for my mental health. I like to do that. I like to just I'll hear everyone complain, but in the back of my mind, I'm just going with the flow. I'm really good. I got I have a roof under my house or my head. I got food to eat. I'm good.
I don't think you have a roof under your head. You have a roof over your head.
Over my head.
So the big question for a lot of viewers that may be thinking about, I need a restart in life, because my biggest thing I preach to young men especially, and young women of course, sometimes you need a fresh start. You need to erase everything. I say the military is the best route to do that.
I would agree, 100%.
And then to caveat off that, how do you think the military has benefited you over any other career path you could have chosen?
100%. Because I can still change with whatever I want to do. I say I want to go into business, I can do business. Say I want to change that up, I can do that. It gives me the opportunity.
And you got that nice car too.
Yeah.
you got a pretty nice car. Why the Air Force though? There might be some boomers watching it.
Well,
why the Air Force?
Everyone kind of knows the answer to that question, but for me, I wanted to join the Marines because
you're gonna have a lot of people commenting. Here's another. I would have joined the Marines, but
I was going to, but my brother, who was a Marine, he said not to because they treat you like shit, and he had a horrible time there.
Right.
It doesn't. You don't progress. You don't progress in the Marines. They just use you, and it's not. So that's why I joined the Air Force, because there's so many more opportunities. They treat you better too. I don't feel like I've been treated poorly at all
No,
from
yeah.
EMT to now. I feel like I've been treated like an adult and like a regular person.
So the summary, the Air Force is better. Do you think some of what your brother said? Because I like to play devil's advocate sometimes. Do you think it's all dependent, whoever you talk to, on their anecdotal experience? So everyone can have something good to say, everyone can have something bad to say.
I'm sure he has some good, yeah.
Overall, though, I think most people agree that the Air Force has a better quality of life.
Oh yeah.
But there's probably some aspects that people prefer of each branch.
Of course, yeah, 100%. The brotherhood of, he was all for his brothers and shit, and the camaraderie of the being a Marine, because he was a devil dog, so he liked that, and that's you want to join the Marines to challenge yourself and
How do
be
you
a badass. Shit,
How do you plan on challenging yourself?
going to school, fixing my financial financial situation, which is not that bad. It's not bad at all, but
You want to
it could be
clean it
better.
up.
I want to clean it up.
There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody wants to. That's like I told you. That's one of the brightest qualities about you. That you're very aware of yourself, even when there's not a problem. Because you could explain it to other people, especially at first in the beginning. I was like, "Whoa, what do you mean?" And it's like, no, it wasn't a problem. But you're very. Do you think you can be very critical of yourself at times?
100%. That's all I am.
Are you your biggest critic?
Yeah, 100%.
Do you think it's overall more productive or not?
No, it's definitely not productive to be critical of myself. But at the same time, I talk to God about it, and I understand that things just need to happen. You can make mistakes. You're still in a good spot, and that He has me, no matter what. It doesn't matter. I never worry about really anything.
So it sounds like you're very ready to correct yourself, but at the same time, you're also ready to understand a lot of it is a plan outside your control.
Yes, 100%.
That's a pretty good way to think about it. Let's get a time check. Alright, we're at 9:05. Believe we started about 30 minutes ago, right?
Possibly.
So we're going to go on just for another 15, 20 minutes. You get time for that?
Yeah, no problem.
So on the more comedic side of things, what's some of the funniest things you've seen since joining? Or just before life? You have any funny stories growing up?
I'm not sure. Yeah. Let me think. Yeah, I got some. I can try to think of some.
Everybody has, and it's a corny thing to bring up. Everybody has a basic training story.
Oh yeah,
Everybody has one.
Yeah, some shit went down in BMT. So I got recycled in BMT. I don't know if I've told you before, but I got recycled. But yeah, I got recycled for. It was a couple things. Some silly things too. The main one being I kind of got physical with someone else, even though he got physical with me first. But
I've noticed the Air Force has gotten a lot stricter on that recently.
Yeah,
have you noticed a change in the military in general when it comes to not standards, but I know it's a corny thing that a lot of people, older people might agree to, that not saying it got softer, but has it not gotten tougher? I'm trying to not say it gotten softer.
It hasn't because the whole Secretary of Defense thing and this no beards and higher standards. You would think that if for a time everyone was like, oh, the military's about to get tougher, but it isn't. It hasn't.
Right.
It's the same thing, and I've always thought the Air Force is.
So
this is my opinion.
What do you think about the new PT standards? We're matching Army now, supposedly.
I think that's awesome. I think that's great. I think it's good. I mean, because I want to be able to run 2 miles, and I want to be able to work to run 2 miles.
Right.
I don't care. Yeah, it's a bad look when there's a lot of overweight people in our military, but
I think let's get something clear. Also, though, it's not just about being, overweight. Cause me myself, I'm gonna lose. I'm cutting down a little bit, but we're trying to figure out the politically correct way to say it as well. I don't want to say unconditioned, because you could be slightly even chubbier.
Of course,
but a great runner.
Yes, so yeah. Thanks for that. Yeah,
sloppy,
unconditioned, sloppy, unconditioned. Just not be. You're not able to.
You're not put together. You're below standards. That's below standards.
Yeah. So
And our standards are already pretty low.
Yeah, they were. No, they were. So it's more of a for me thing. I get to work harder for something because I like to be coached like that. I like to be, you know, because sometimes I can't really do it for myself, but I'm working on that too. That's another thing I'm working on is going to the gym, having working on myself physically, and eating healthier. But back in high school when I was playing football, I loved the routine of getting up in the morning, working out hella hard, like hard as hell, lifting weights, and then school, and then boom, football practice. I love that shit.
Well, cause I know football is huge in Texas, right?
Yeah.
Everybody talks about college football and high school football.
Yeah.
Well, what position do you play?
Linebacker.
Linebacker. So you're taking hits or giving hits?
Oh, giving hits.
You're giving hits. You weren't getting beat up.
No.
But
I was. Yeah, no.
So you're kind of searching for maybe something to be more proud of too with these new standards.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people, that is the sad reality when it comes to a lot of people, that not everyone wants to do something a little bit harder, be a little more proud. A lot of people like being comfortable.
Yeah.
Have you ever found yourself in a spot where you were comfortable?
Oh, yeah. 100% all the time.
What's kind of like the wake-up call when you're feeling too comfortable? Like, how do you get that hunger back?
Oh, I don't know. It's like a cycle for me almost. Like I stopped vaping, I stopped drinking liquor or alcohol. It's just like a switch in my mind. Like I know I gotta do better, and it happens every so often. Sometimes I'll stop, and then it'll stop, but then I'll get right back to it.
You know what? This is like really like, and this is like what shocked me too. So I was going through, sometimes like it's hard to keep motivation.
Yeah.
That's why you don't rely on motivation. You rely on discipline.
Yeah.
Because if you rely on motivation, you're waiting on chance whether you're gonna feel good enough to do it. If you're on discipline, it's gonna happen.
Exactly.
So I was on the 7th mile of the run today. I was doing my run. I'm at a decent pace, and then I heard so Goggins actually came on the, cause I was on shuffle.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to hear it, and he was talking about the story where he was just started losing weight, so he was still 300 pounds, and he said that he said, yeah, I'm a fat fuck running past this cemetery, and he said, I wonder how many people are buried under there that regret their life. And he told himself that rest of the run, don't fucking die like this, bro.
Yeah.
Do you think you are searching for that consistency to, at the end of the day, when you look at the mirror, you're saying, I gave it my all today. If you only had 60%, you gave 100% your 60.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the kind of discipline that he has, 100%. Like you said it really good earlier. It's not the motivation; it's discipline. I'm trying to find that discipline. So that's why I like the fact that standards are changing, because we kind of don't have a choice, or we're gonna fail. And if you fail, you get kicked out.
Forced motivation is still motivation.
Yeah.
Because it's very easy to make enough money, but it's a little more difficult to make more when you don't need that much. A lot of people have that hunger, so they keep going.
Yeah.
A lot of people are fine at stopping at benching 225.
Yeah.
A lot of people are fine at stopping at the 2 mile because that's all they need to qualify for.
Yeah.
If we talked a lot about what Patrick wants to do, who was Patrick, who is Patrick. Don't be Patrick for a second. What would you tell if you could be that outside third person, what would you tell yourself right now to reach those goals by the end of the year?
Just to focus on, keep on track on what you're trying to do. Keep your head up. Don't think too much about all the negative things going on. Don't let anything get you down. Just keep going. Put one foot in front of the other. Keep going. Go to the gym. Don't spend $10 on some McDonald's chicken nuggets.
$10 is crazy for some nuggets, by the way.
Or whatever.
The economy we're in is crazy.
McDonald's meal.
Now, I don't know if you noticed too that a lot of, at least I know with the economy, some things didn't have to get more expensive.
Yeah.
They just stayed more expensive.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's how it is sometimes, right?
Yeah. I would say don't drink. Don't pick up the vape. Again, just don't do it. You know.
So would you say you're locked in? Like, are you ready for everything?
I'm locked in. I'm locked in. I've been going to the gym, so yeah.
So you see yourself now, and then you see the Patrick you want to be at that end of the year, December 31st, 2026. You think you'll get there?
I hope to get there, and I'll pray to get there. But like I have in the past, I stop because I don't feel like I can do it sometimes, or most of the time.
You know what? We can go back to what we said earlier. You don't have to rely on hoping you get there if you just do it.
Right, exactly.
Every day, just do it. And if there's a day that you don't feel like working out, just go. I heard someone say that it's always better to give 100% of your 20% that day than to give nothing. Like, almost always, absolute. The worst thing you can do is better yourself. Which is a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Just keep on moving. Don't get down. Like to make excuses. Everyone does before they work out. Oh, not today, not this. But I'm really trying to drown that out and just keep going. Keep going to the gym. Keep eating healthy. Focus on my finances and my side gig, my side job now that I'm trying to do, and go back to college.
That sounds very admirable. I hope we see that success happen. We could touch base again in a few months and see where you're at. Do you have anything you'd like to tell the audience before we head out?
Subscribe to
Tex Mex.
Hell yeah. Like and subscribe.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for coming on the show. We hope to see you back. And, this is the 6th episode, so hopefully you'll be back for like the 90th episode.
Hell yeah.
And we'll see Patrick halfway to his 2026 goal.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, it was a good show, everyone. You guys take care. Have a good one.